The latest. Thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you all. West Africa is standing at a dangerous crossroad, and this time the stakes are higher than ever as Guinea-Bissau remains under military control after a dramatic coup. Ecowas is no longer just issuing warnings, it is now pleading behind closed doors. The regional bloc is urging Guinea-Bissau not to walk away from Ecowas, fearing yet another fracture in a region already shaken by exit, coups, and growing resistance to regional authority. With memories of Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger still fresh, Ecowas knows what is at stake. Lose Guinea-Bissau and the bloc's credibility takes another heavy blow. That urgency is why presidents rise to Bissau, why diplomacy replaced threats, and why the message was clear: stay in the bloc, restore civilian rule, and do it fast. But the military junta is not backing down easily. Power has been seized, opposition leaders are detained or hiding in embassies, and the future of democracy hangs by a thread. Is Guinea-Bissau about to follow the Sahel path, or will it become the turning point ECOWAS desperately needs? On Sunday, the acting president of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, President Julius Maada Bio of Sierra Leone, publicly called for a swift transition to civilian rule in Guinea-Bissau, led by an inclusive government that reflects the country's political and social diversity. President Bio made the statement after leading a high-level ECOWAS delegation to Guinea-Bissau, where intense talks were held with the military high command that seized power in a coup on 26 November 2026. Quote, "Our talks were constructive and I reiterated the call for a swift transition led by an inclusive government that reflects the political spectrum and the society of Guinea-Bissau." End of quote. ECOWAS rejects junta's plan. The military rulers who install a so-called transitional government expected to last up to 1 year face strong resistance from ECOWAS. The bloc flatly rejected this plan, stating that it violates the decisions made during ECOWAS' 68th summit in Abuja, Nigeria. Instead, ECOWAS demanded a short-term transition, a civilian-led inclusive government, the immediate release of all political detainees, a return to constitutional order within months and not years. The transitional authority is currently headed by General Hunter Nta, former chief of staff to ousted President Omar Sissoco Embalo, who was removed just 1 day before provisional election results were to be announced. Sanctions looms, but so does fear. ECOWAS warned that selective sanctions will be imposed on any individual or group obstructing the transition. However, sources close to the talks suggest the bloc is also deeply concerned about Guinea-Bissau potentially withdrawing from ECOWAS following the precedent set by Sahel states. This fear explains the softer diplomatic tone, the personal involvement of sitting presidents, and the urgency of the mission. ECOWAS cannot afford another exit. Key sticking point. According to local outlets, O Democrata, the biggest disagreement during talks included the formation of a civilian-led government lasting only 4 months, the release of opposition leader Domingo, the head of the PAIGC party. Following the meeting, ECOWAS officials visited Fernando Dias da Costa, an independent political candidate, and other figures who sought refuge in the Nigerian embassy after the coup. All have demanded the immediate restoration of constitutional governance. A history of instability. Guinea-Bissau remains one of Africa's most political and stable nations. Since gaining independence from Portugal in 1974. The country has experienced 4 coups d'etat in 1980, 1998 to 1999, 2003 and 2012, making the current crisis part of a troubling pattern. Why this matter? This is no longer just about Guinea-Bissau. It is about the future of Ecowas. The future of Ecowas, the survival of regional unity, and whether military takeover will continue to redefine West Africa politics. Now Ecowas is seeing what is at stake, and instead of the bloc to try its best to put the right things in order, Ecowas is chasing after things that wouldn't bring the solution. Like the president of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama, rightfully said, Ecowas is lacking accountability. Ecowas is not moving alongside the people. There is loss of trust in democracy. The best thing Ecowas should be doing is not to be focusing on what is democracy at the moment, but restructuring the Ecowas bloc, because all the people that we see leaving the bloc sing one song, and that is lack of transparency, no accountability, serving foreign interests. And these are the reasons which Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso walked out of the bloc. And if ECOWAS is still trying to remain relevant to the people, then ECOWAS, the leaders, must learn how to do things right. Like John Dramani Mahama said, we need accountability. You don't tell us you are doing ABC. We, the citizens, can equally see what these our leaders are doing. Lead by example. If democracy is what you want, then you, the leaders under this system, must act right. You should be accountable to us. If you are in office, doesn't mean that the country and its resources belong to you. Make sure that you don't become rich overnight. We have seen how politicians are becoming rich in no given time. These the citizens are seeing, and these are the things that are making us to lose interest in the system called democracy. So if you don't want future occurrences of coup, then put your things together. That is the message that the citizens are sending to you, and that is why we are seeing that a lot of the youth are happy. And we all are backing the leaders in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, because they are doing exactly what ECOWAS failed to do. We are practically serving the interests of other people instead of serving our own interests. And how do we continue to be holding on to democracy where leaders do nothing for their citizens? We are seeing leaders who are only talking about democracy but not bringing anything in the lives of the people that they are leading. Is it about holding on to democracy and serving foreign interests, or holding on to the culture, the norms, the traditions, and the people of Africa at heart? Which of this is the interest of ECOWAS? And we have seen clearly that ECOWAS is only thinking about democracy, whether the leader does right or not. As long as you are under that system, that is it. And we, the people in Africa, are saying no to this kind of rule, because we want leaders who will also come into office and do something meaningful for the people. We want to see a change in our lives. We want to see our resources used to benefit us and not to be serving other people. So that's the latest around the world in Africa and in ECOWAS.